So the next thing we're going to look at is how to make particle effects. And so we're going to be creating something like a fire for this. A particle is basically a little point of light that you can control the movement of. And so that's generally how they make a lot of these effects. You'll be creating stones and pieces of wood for your fire to make it look like an actual campfire. Then you use basically a plane which has particle effects coming out of it. So you might make something like this. It doesn't really show you how. You best basically do that kind of an idea. Now keep in mind this is the old version of Blender. So we need to make sure that, make sure that you know that these particle effects, they have moved. They are now in the menu off to the side here. So right here is your particle effects. Watch out for that. It does require a little bit of work with materials to change colors as well. So you might need to add a material as well as the particle effect. If I do add one, a lot of the systems that you're looking at down here, so for example, a lot of the normal, tangent, random, all of that kind of stuff, that has moved over here as well. So the number you have, this is the animation time, and that's in terms of frames, by the way. How long particles live before they die off, how much randomness you want to add. And oftentimes if you're going to be doing Newtonian movement, you have to worry about the initial z direction. So remember that positive z is up, so you might need to give it some initial velocity. The other thing to watch out for is that if you have too many particles, it will kill your computer because it actually takes a lot of processing power to do it. You won't really be able to see it unless you actually animate it. So notice you don't see the particles really until I run this. It's got gravity on and it doesn't really have much of an initial velocity, so I might have to worry about that. So let's say I do, I don't know, 5. Look, now it comes up. Now getting these particle effects to behave the way you want them to is a little tricky. One thing that a lot of people have done that seems to work reasonably well is to actually add a force field, which is magnetic, in order to get the particles to kind of go to the middle more. And that seems to have a more realistic effect. So notice now they're actually going towards the center. That's something you'll have to play with and deal with a lifetime as well, so you'll have to figure that out. But that's the general idea with a series of particle effects.